You say LASIK?
Yeah.
Alright. I don't know. You guys are talking about anymore.
I
Can
don't
this
know
be
that
how
that's
we
quite
start the
comparable.
podcast?
Yeah, welcome to episode 3 of the Copium Take.
Yeah.
After this conversation, I hope you guys don't get to hear it. I'm Drew, your host. I'm here with Jonah and Jake again. Again, not giving them the opportunity to talk.
I haven't gotten the LASIK surgery.
Yeah. No one's going to know what that is. I don't think that needs to make the light of day. So, we're going to leave this and only my ears will be able to hear it from now on. And then maybe one day if we ever make it big and one of them jade me, I'll post it. I'll cut it up and I'll save it. That way I can burn them to the ground. What do you guys think about that? That's good for
I
y'all?
don't know. I think Jonah would be the one burning in the ground. Cancel culture would be coming for him.
Yeah?
Sure.
Jonah's pissed.
He's like, God,
Jonah's so mad.
he got you baited.
He got you baited.
I'm not into stadium genders.
Yeah, what's
Whoa.
it ending about gender, man?
Whoa,
Now
what
you're
the?
just making it
We're
all
talking
political
about
for nothing.
we're talking about pineapple on pizza, Jonah.
Yeah, what are you talking?
What are you talking about?
Just because you like the pineapple.
Oh my god. Alright, let's move on. We're talking about football again today. We're biting off less today. We're gonna just do the NFC South. We're not gonna commit to two.
That feels like the biggest copium take of the day.
Yeah. You should have heard Jake after we finished the pod. He was so mad. He wouldn't even speak to us.
Keep going. Yeah, I left.
He's calmed down though. But
I was going to show back for this episode.
yeah, but we're gonna jump into the NFC South. We're gonna start with Atlanta Falcons.
The greatest
I
team.
guess we should probably actually start with their departures first, because I think that's probably the more interesting thing here.
I'm
You put the screen
literally
up?
lost anyone.
Oh yeah, I can share the screen.
And
But
you need
they picked up the biggest pickup, or I guess the biggest departure actually is good old the gambler Calvin Ridley.
Oh, I would have said Josh Rosen, but
That's not so much a departure.
Well,
yeah, he's still
not gonna
around.
play.
I mean, for a year, yeah.
God, that's just like how. What I don't know. I don't want to call him dumb, but like, what was the outcome gonna be?
My only thing is there are legitimate questions of him throwing. If you want to be super strict on it,
I
watching some of his plays is sus.
Really? Wait, you really like? That's a thing? People think he's like not wanting to win.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like bad. But
It's
like
quite
he
an
all five.
accusation.
I don't think he was doing it. I think it's just.
He's on a bad football team.
Oh no! There's just some funny clips.
Well,
I'll see
okay.
if I can find it while we're.
was gonna take a different angle with that, but okay.
What's the other angle?
I mean, he stepped away for mental reasons. I just don't think he was in the right headspace. I think he just slipped up while he was vulnerable.
Maybe he was down bad in his gambling. Maybe that was where it stemmed from. Who knows? They also lost. Probably most people would say Matt Ryan's their biggest loss, but
I'm looking at this list. The person I'm most curious about is where the hell did Josh Rosen go?
I don't think he goes anywhere. I think it tells you where they go if they actually win somewhere.
Oh,
He's just in the ether.
yikes!
Big yikes, big yikes. But Matt Ryan gets traded to the Colts. We talked about the Colts last pod. I think we made our made our points with him being on the Colts, but where does this leave the Falcons? I think with that point we can jump back over to the additions and it looks
Wait! Before we move over, let's go back over one more time.
okay.
The real biggest departure is Dante Fowler.
You think? That is pretty big.
Go Gators, by the way.
Do you care?
He is going to be a very important piece at defensive end, opposite DeMarcus Lawrence.
Okay, that was the cowboy talk for this episode. That's our,
There was
Alright,
already
I
way
made
too
it.
much.
That's true. Jonah, at some
So-
point, one of these episodes, you're gonna have to claw back. You're gonna have to drop one of these episodes because you did two last episode. You get one an episode. Everybody gets one. It's like Spider-Man and Family Guy. Everybody gets one. but it's only you because we don't care about the
So
Cowboys.
I don't know. I don't know if you want to show that tweet or not. I just posted the one tweet of someone talking about it, but there's a little video in it of Calvin Ridley, and it's not like anything, but it's just definitely like you're like, what are these decisions he's making? This
What
doesn't
does he
make a lot
do?
of sense.
Let's not show the video because
Are they bad routes or something?
But yeah, explain what might
Well,
be
all right,
happening.
so it's a few different ones. So, okay, the first one that he's catching an out against Seattle. He gets the first, and he gets 20, and he's in front of the linebacker. There's a safety coming, but he literally just turns directly to the left and then drops to the ground once guys get close to him.
Maybe
Second
he's
clip, Matt Ryan gets the ball out, gets it to
Who's
him
the
on a
safety?
slant pretty fast. He cuts across, and then he jumps back behind the first down marker and then gets tackled. That
Wait,
one I
wait.
don't think is anything. I think it was him being stupid.
Who was
and trying
who
to
was the
miss.
Seahawks safety?
Yeah, it was like 37 or something.
37. Okay.
He was
'Cause
not
if it was
within 5 yards.
33, if it was Jamal Adams, I could sort of understand it.
It wasn't. Adams was not within 5 yards of
Well,
him. Second clip I think isn't really anything. He tried to extend the play and jumped back, and he jumped behind the first down marker. But then he has one against the Chiefs where he should easily score a touchdown, and then all of a sudden he kind of just like folds back. He's in front of Sorensen running. Sorensen, that's his name, right? Number 49 for the Chiefs, I believe. So he's in front of him, and Sorensen ends up making the tackle because he takes a weird angle. And it's like, that guy has no business running with Calvin Ridley. Like I said, I don't think any of them are actually anything valid. I just think they're funny.
That's interesting. I don't know. He's probably not throwing. Let's not
No,
throw out those
no.
accusations.
Definitely is not. I do not think.
All
I
right,
think it's a funny
let's
video.
jump back. Let's jump back after we had our throwing talk and our Cowboys talk. We'll jump back to Marcus Mariota is going to be the starting quarterback this year.
Now they are throwing the Cowboys, right?
Maybe we haven't gotten to that yet. But Marcus Mariota starting for the Falcons. What do we think? Good move? Bad move? Okay
Why are you so
move?
convinced he's starting?
That's true. I mean, I can you name another quarterback for the Falcons?
Desmond Ridder, the rookie out of Cincinnati they drafted.
We haven't got there yet, Jake.
Well,
You're
he's on the-
spoiling. You think?
I mean,
All
I
right.
don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to ask him if he knows another quarterback on the roster and then yell at him for talking about the guy they drafted.
the quarterback on the
All
roster.
right. We're looking at their draft picks. We'll start with him. Do you think he can beat Mariota out, the vet?
I don't think he can beat Felipe Franks.
Felipe Franks is taking work at tight end.
What?
Ooh, he can't.
Yeah,
He can't beat Ritter.
Really?
Felipe's doing both right now.
That's awesome.
In the spring, he started taking reps at both.
Interesting.
Jake, that does not speak very highly of Anthony Ferkser.
I mean, I don't really.
Ooh.
I think it's more of just, hey, he's a good athlete. Let's see if we can Taysom Hill him.
I think they have buyer's remorse for Ferkser, and they think that they need a better number 2 tight end.
Nah, I don't think so. I think that's just because I think it honestly is just there's
Yeah,
no
good
way
too.
he is like he's the third guy pretty much no matter how it plays out. So he's like may as well just try to play tight end and make the team a different way.
Well, and let's say there's a bunch of different things with it. Okay, Mariota runs a little more. Desmond would run a little more. All three of them are runners a bit. So maybe you're saying, hey, you know what? We want to be able to have all three QBs active in a week. But you can't justify having a third QB active on your roster if he's not doing anything else. But if Felipe is also their tight end 3,
I don't know
Now
why they'd
it's
want a
like-
third QB, though.
because if you're worried about injuries, if you're worried about one of them getting banged up or any of that, or maybe Desmond's not learning the offense as fast as they want. There's a bunch of reasons it could be that way. Where you're like, hey, we kind of want all three ready to go in a given week. And it may not be consistently throughout the year all three are active, but maybe Mariota gets injured, or maybe Mariota's a little banged up. He rolled his ankle the week before. He's planning on going, but you're like, you know what? We should probably have all three active this week because of that.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
think
I don't know. I mean, the Falcons are the Falcons. I think they're, in my opinion, my Copium take is they're one of the worst teams this year. And I think at this point, right, where they're at is that's kind of where they want to be. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, just to finish on Mariota, I think this is his last chance. This is the last good situation he's going to be put in.
And it's a good move by the Falcons. Put someone behind in front of Ritter that he can learn from. Mariota's been in the league a good little bit at this point, so good learning experience for Ritter. And if Ritter's a guy, he's a guy. If he's not, the Falcons are gonna have a pretty.
I mean, there are very low expectations for Ritter. He was a third-round pick.
Yeah, and they're gonna most likely have a good pick because the Falcons aren't gonna be great. So they could go for a quarterback this draft or the next draft after that. I think this is such a rebuilding team that, I mean, I don't even know what to say about them really. For me, they're our first Ratbird team.
Ooh. Oh, so we're gonna try this. I'm
It might be your first.
Wow, you think this is more than like a 5-win team?
Yeah, I think so.
No, 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 no.
I
I'm
think
saying it's my third.
Oh. Okay.
I would put them in outside looking in. First of all.
Well, too
Why
bad.
are you
I
so
think-
high
I
on
think-
so many teams?
Yeah, who's bad? Are the Bengals?
Well,
Who's
I
gonna be
think-
bad this year? The Bills?
I think we look at it very like to me that Ratbird, and we've talked about this a little bit, but that Ratbird to me like top 10 picks. The only teams going in that for me are teams I'm like, oh, I'm locking them in at a top 10 pick.
Okay.
To me, it's like the Falcons have a realm where they what if Mariota balls out? What if Mariota has the best season of his career this year?
Then they might
Like-
have 6 wins.
Nah, and I think that team can compete for the second spot in that division in that scenario.
Dude, there's no way. I'm telling you, there are some. I don't know. I'm assuming there's some Saints hate, but when we get to them, I'm a Saints stan. So I'm.
What is this whole? What are we doing? We're just getting ahead. We're just skipping ahead to teams.
Well, you're the one that skipped
It's
ahead
the
and
Falcons'
said
time.
that they're gonna finish second in the division.
I said they could.
But this is your copium take, and I don't like it.
It also a lot of it comes down how good is Drake London going to be? How good will Pitts be in year 2? I mean, there's just so many things so many factors. Is Cordell going to be Cordell again? Like, is he going to do what he just did?
All right, real quick. The Falcons were tied for the 8th worst record with 7 wins. That's a bottom 10 team.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be much worse than that this year.
I agree.
And I'm surprised you think they're going to be better.
I don't know if I necessarily think they're going to be better, but I think it's one. I think some teams might be worse this year too. So there's a little bit of a mixed match there.
I don't think there's many.
Like
There's
7
more than one
I'm
team
not-
that was worse
I
than them
don't-
that could be worse.
Well, I don't.
Or that
know
was
if it's
better than
gonna
them
be-
last year that could be worse.
I don't know if a 7-win team or most 7-win teams get a top 10 pick this next year. Because I think there's going to be more teams that probably don't have great seasons.
Okay. Well, I think
But,
before we move on, I want to raise 2 questions. I want to know. My first question is, do we think Kyle Pitts is going to be better this year, or do we think he's going to be worse? And I would also include, like, how's Drake London? How do you guys think he's going to play as well? What's Adam both? Those are the 2 offensive weapons besides Patterson's, besides Patterson's stuff. But like, what's London and Pitt's expectations this year?
Wait. Let's go back. Let's not just gloss over everybody on this offense. Brian Edwards
Yeah, adding
could
Brian
contribute a decent bit.
Okay.
I think there are interesting pieces for a rebuilding team. This is not going to be a good team, but they might actually find out that some of these guys can contribute long term. I think it's a very, very tough situation for any rookie receiver to come in and perform well. Drake London will be very interesting on this team. It'll be very interesting
What
to see
you
how
love
well.
about Drake London in this scenario is they're going to have to use it.
He's gonna.
Yeah,
get
he's thrown into the fire.
Yeah, but Drake London might be the weirdest for me. Like in the last decade or longer, this has to be the receiver I have literally the least opinion on coming out, especially if you're talking a top 10 draft pick. I
He's odd
think
for the
nothing
first
about
receiver
this man.
drafted.
Yeah, I think nothing about this. Like, this dude is coming in as a completely blank slate for me. I have virtually no opinions on him. I'm just like, let's just see what he does. Which I've never been in that scenario before, so it's really weird for me. But
Interesting. Now, here's my second question, and it revolves around Drake London. If Drake London has a great rookie season this year and proves that he can be a solid number 1, do the Falcons try to trade Ridley in this next offseason?
I just don't think you're going to get it.
I would. All right. Let's say they don't. Let's say they wait till the season. He plays good. he's done some iffy stuff that doesn't get out. It's just inside the facility, but he's played well in like the first 6 games. Do you think the Falcons move him?
I
It
think
depends. A lot of it comes down to the mental stuff, I think. How serious was that mental stuff? Because that's why they didn't field trade offers for him this last year. Is they said, "Hey, we just don't feel like doing this with him in this scenario."
Okay.
So, like, if it's as bad as everyone made it seem, like if it was like, man, he was really like that. It was a struggle, like, and he was struggling. Like, I just don't think they're gonna ever find an offer that's of good value or that they feel is worth doing it.
not only that, I feel like if Drake London is good, then if I was the Falcons, I would want to keep Ridley even more because it means I'm not having to trade him in the hopes of getting a true number one. Because Ridley was better when Julio was there.
I mean, yeah, Drake London ends up being, but I don't. I think even with what you're saying, Jake what you're saying, Jonah, it relies on what Jake's saying too. Like mentally, is he there?
True, but I think to Jake's point, they're not going to get a good trade for him. So why even bother?
Yeah, I mean,
Unless you absolutely don't think there's any chance that he's going to want to play for you when he comes back, then I wouldn't trade him at all. I would just have him be the number 2 receiver, and I would feel good about it.
and then the Copium take if Ridley comes back and he's locked back in, and London had a good year, and you still have Pitts. I mean, that's 3 crazy good weapons. So, and then you
And
still have
Desmond Ridder
Patterson.
into a Hall of Famer, and Patterson's doing this.
Yeah, I mean,
Copium take they're winning a Super Bowl next year. That's good.
yeah, it is Copium. So, I think that's gonna do it for the Falcons.
Now, one thing. This is who we going to? We're going to the Panthers.
I think we'll go to the Panthers. Yeah.
Well, then I'll touch this.
I would just like to mention that I am the only one who brought up Ferkser. Jake was raving about him and didn't have a single positive thing to say about his impact on the Falcons.
I think it's going to have a great impact. Because I think what they're going to do is they're going to let Pitts do. Pitts is going to be Pitts, but they're going to probably. I don't know how much they'll do this. I don't know because I know Pitts wants to be a true tight end, but they will go 2 tight end sets where hypothetically Pitts is just really a single receiver, and they'll go a 3-by-1 where Pitts is flexed out as the ISO on the one side, and Ferkser will be in the attached tight end role. And Kyle Pitts is essentially an X in that package. And I will bet almost any amount of money they do that multiple times this season.
Okay, let's jump into the Panthers. Start big.
Yeah, I think the Falcons are only interesting from a fantasy perspective.
Okay, we done with Falcon stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, we're moving to the Panthers.
He wants to go to the Panthers.
Baker Mayfield gets traded from the Browns for 5th pick. They also basically pay him a little bit, and the Browns pay him a lot of bit. So I don't. I think in general the Baker move for the Panthers is fine. Like I feel like you lose a 5th round.
It's so low risk.
Yeah, it's so low risk. Lose a 5th round pick. Don't have to pay him the money. Apparently this thing can convert to a 4th rounder, but fuck it, who cares?
It'll probably be a 4th rounder, but still.
Yeah, and now the Panthers are rolling in to a question mark season with Baker, Darnold, and then Matt Corral, who they got in the draft. So it's like a lot of options here. If whoever gets the job, if they suck, put the other veteran in, and if the other veteran sucks, fuck it, throw Matt Corral in the last 5 weeks of the season. And if they all suck, draft another one next year. I don't really know what that means for.
Well, just disrespecting people.
No.
Coaching situation, but
if they all suck, you just hope he gets better next year, just like Trevor Lawrence.
What about PJ Walker? No love for him. He doesn't get a chance.
He got his chances last year. He's burned his bridges.
Yeah.
I think PJ Walker is pretty close to his ceiling, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't think he can be
He's
good at the NFL level.
He's probably getting cut, but we still love the story.
Big.
I mean, I do.
Savage.
I would have loved to have seen him be good, but he just didn't perform well enough in the little bit of time he got.
Rolling through these a little bit more. I mean, bringing back DJ Moore back screwed me in fantasy, but probably a good move.
Andre Roberts, huge signing, receiver out of the Citadel.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
That guy.
But he's been a return specialist in a bunch of places.
Charlie Higgins is interesting.
Decently.
Yeah, Matthew Ioannidis is pretty good too. I mean, I feel like their D line's like pretty solid. They still have
Their wide receiver depth is better than I thought.
Yeah, they still have Brian Burns too, who's like such an underrated outside pass rusher. I feel like that guy's balled out multiple years, and I guess
I
he's in
mean,
Carolina, which is like no one just cares about him. So
you're
Well, they're just
forgetting their
not good yet.
biggest. You're forgetting their biggest free agency signing too, right down there, second from the bottom.
that's true. Johnny Hecker, best punter in the league, baby.
Yeah, only
That'd be
punter there.
that's gonna be real good when Baker and Darnold suck. They have to punt
Yeah.
the ball so much.
He's gonna save them.
Xavier Woods, he's old, but not a bad pickup. I mean,
Xavier Woods is not as old as you think he is.
really? Let's see. Is he not an old guy?
He's 62.
Oh, what the fuck? He's 26? Maybe that's a good pickup then. That replaces the big departure of Stephon Gilmore.
Big departure, Cam Newton.
Yeah, I mean, these guys they've lost are... Hassan Reddick played pretty... I thought he played pretty well for the Panthers, but that was also because maybe he was across from Brian Bird, so who knows what he's going to do when he gets to the Eagles. Corner-wise, I mean, now they really only have Dante Jackson, who is okay.
Wait, what are you saying?
What? Hassan Reddick.
You said corner?
I said
Wait,
they
what
lost-
position?
I don't know. I'm confused. Maybe you've
You
confused
talking
me.
about corner?
Well, yeah, I said they lost Hassan Reddick, and then I said they lost AJ Boye.
No, they also have J.C. Horn and C.J. Henderson.
CJ Henderson.
Oh, that's true. They did get CJ. I forgot. Why is that on here? I guess
Well,
it
they
happened
traded
last
for
year.
him mid-season.
Hey,
Yeah.
I need it. I don't remember.
Well, that's why I was confused when you said they only really have Dante Jackson.
I forgot about Horn. I will say I forgot.
You forgot about their 1 and 2 corners.
Bro, CJ Henderson. They didn't even want to. The team he got traded didn't even want to have him.
Yeah, and it blindsided him. For whatever reason, Jacksonville is just allergic to first-round corners.
It's because he's from Florida.
True.
They're a
I'm
bunch
gonna plead the fifth on this topic. I know too much information.
Ooh.
Oh, you know why C.J. Henderson got traded?
Yes.
Ooh.
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 Oh,
Ooh.
man. Oh, I really, really like their secondary. Jeremy Chin, Xavier Woods, J.C. Horn, C.J. Henderson, Dante Jackson.
But their secondary was good last
Ooh.
year, and they didn't do much either.
But it was not. Well, J.C. Horn was hurt for most of the season.
But they didn't have the best corner in the game.
Stephon Gilmore was not as good as you think he was.
Yeah, he's trash. That's why the Colts got him.
Well, it's why he was not signed very quickly. It took like 2 months for him to sign somewhere, didn't it?
I don't know, but I like Gilmore, but I also think people.
I do. I mean, he's just not as.
drastically in the past. I mean,
He's not that
He's-
defensive
he's
player
a-
of the year version of himself
he
anymore.
is a good corner. He's a very good corner. Your team's better for having him. But
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, they still, like Jonas said, their corners are good. The D line's pretty solid.
Their
Then-
wide receiver depth is way better than I thought it was. I really thought it was going to struggle more, but looking at this depth chart, it's pretty nice. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall, and Rashard Higgins.
Yeah.
I mean, you even got like Rashard Higgins is going to be low on the depth chart. He might be 3 start of the season. He might pass Terrace Marshall, but at the very least, he's going to have some nice chemistry with Baker.
I'm surprised you're so high. You're always usually so low on the Panthers.
I am. I like small things on this roster.
I usually have the
Yeah,
hopium for the Panthers, and then Jonah just shoots it down, cuts my cord.
but now Jonah's
Jopian's
being
one.
positive.
And I don't know what
But
to
now
think about.
Now Jonah's being positive, so you're like, oh, they're gonna suck this year, aren't they?
I don't know.
Ooh, wait.
Messing with your
Did they
Matt.
saw? Oh, Matt Ioannidis.
see
Man, I
that.
know nothing
said
about
that.
the
You
additions
said
from the
that.
Panthers.
Good thing Jonah's listening
Wow.
to us during the
Yeah.
pod. Hey, welcome to the Jonah
Well,
show.
it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Go.
be disappointed by where I put him.
All right, go Jonah. Put him somewhere. Give me the copium. Put him somewhere.
Playoff hopeful.
It's Jonah show. Playoff hopeful.
Ooh.
You're putting him with the Jags?
I'm putting him 2 categories above where I put the Jags. But yes, keep the cats together.
Oh my goodness, Jonah.
Wow.
What? Who's the starting quarterback that's taking him here?
I'm assuming this thing.
I'm not certain that any of the quarterbacks really makes a difference. I like Baker more than the others, but I don't know that this team as a whole is there yet. I think they're too young.
So what you're saying is McCaffrey's going to have an MVP caliber season.
Yeah, and they're gonna just miss the playoffs.
And that's how they're
in 2
going to be
games.
playoff hopeful. No, I think this is the normal take. I think they could do as good as like making it to the divisional round on Copium.
So in Jonah's Copium world, McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor are going to take MVP votes. Jake, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean this is wild to me. Are we actually doing this? Is this real?
I mean, that's where Jonah's putting them. I'm putting them in outside looking in. So it's up to you.
Well, you got to be moving them down a little bit because they're my first draft pick.
Oh, I don't know where to put. I can't go that low.
I put them at outside looking in.
They would go in outside looking in.
It averages out.
Yeah, it would average out to outside looking in.
Okay, that's where I like them. I think this is like a.
So, I mean, you win this early, and for your sake, but
I think this is like a 7 to 8 win team.
They would be my first draft pick.
Wow, why is that? What's your copium that's making you think that?
I just don't. So I'm in a weird thing where like, I think people overhate on Baker a lot.
I agree.
I don't think people realize how much he did for Cleveland and how banged up he was. And he
just turned into them being bad.
Because get with me. But the counterpoint to that is I don't think Baker ever makes a team better.
You don't?
I think he just maintains them. I think he keeps them where they're at.
But don't you think the Panthers might be good with that?
I don't think they're good enough with that. I don't think they. Now you know me. I'm admittedly not like I actually dislike the guy, but I don't buy the DJ Moore hype. I just don't.
But if you think in the world, let's just say in the world that McCaffrey plays 14 to 15 games this season, maybe gets banged up or something for a game or two here and there, but he plays the majority of the season, you don't think a healthy McCaffrey for most of the season with Baker at the helm would be enough for them to like be good enough on offense? And I think we all kind of agree that the defense is pretty solid to where they could maybe sneak into Jonah's crazy playoff hopeful stretch, or maybe even stretch out of your top 10 pick, which is probably
better. I think it's conceivable. I just don't really buy it.
What do you not buy in my scenario I laid down?
I don't think they're going to be very good on offense. I think the defense is going to take a step back from last year. Because I think what they were doing last year on offense is they would be able to control ball, and the defense knew like, hey, they're going to kill time and everything. I just don't think they're going to do that with this offense. I think this offense is going to try to be more aggressive, and therefore the defense is going to be getting out on the field more because they think they're going to be better with Baker, but I don't think they actually get better. I think they stay the same. But now you're changing tempo up, and I think it hurts the team overall.
Okay. And
I want to defend Baker real quick.
Well, let me go. Let me go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Baker. I would say I just want to point something out. That Jake made the point that he thinks teams in the top 10 are gonna be way worse.
Yeah.
And Jonah's probably predicting that the Panthers are gonna have like somewhere in like the 9 to 10 wins. I would imagine is what they're gonna need. Maybe less than that. No, I feel like 9 to 10. And I'm saying like 6, 7 probably. Now that I think about it a little more, is where they're gonna win. So how many wins do you think they're gonna have, Jake?
The Panthers?
Yeah. Over under 4.
Over under 4.
Yeah. Because I mean,
they had 5 last year.
Yeah. There's
Can
no
I
way.
Can I buy it 4?
What do you mean buy it 4?
Can I take
4 exactly?
Can I take 4 exactly?
Sure. Well, that'd be an over.
Is that an over?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends where the line's at. I mean,
the line is. Wait, no, what I said.
If the line's, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If it's over under, if you're just putting the line right at 4, that wouldn't be.
You're putting over. You're giving it over 4 win. I don't see how a team with Baker, who I feel like you just laid out everything and then you just said it doesn't matter what I said. Baker's gonna be healthy this season. McCaffrey's coming back healthy. I don't know.
I think McCaffrey is not that important because it doesn't matter. They didn't lose a step when Chuba Hubbard came in.
Yeah.
So I don't think McCaffrey's health is that
So
important.
I just looked at their schedule real quick. I would probably max them out at 5.
Wow. Okay. Well,
All right.
defend Baker.
So Baker was a very successful quarterback with the Browns,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't have hardly anybody at wide receiver. They had a terrible Odell Beckham Jr. and
That was on Baker.
a not very good Jarvis Landry,
Hi, my name's
and he was making
Mr.
it work. He was making it work with just a random hodgepodge of receivers, and
Yeah,
that's
but-
what he has here. If you don't like DJ Moore, if you don't think DJ Moore is good, that's what he essentially has, and he's working with right now.
But Mr.
And I think the
Odell
defense
called
here
me
is
and
better.
said, Mr. Beckman called me and said that it was on him. He just told me just now.
Okay, well then in this scenario, let's say that he makes DJ Moore a 300-yard receiver.
300
Does that matter?
for the Panthers? Yes,
Yeah.
probably.
I don't know that actually makes them a ratbird team.
I don't know.
I think they're good enough elsewhere that it doesn't matter. I think
What is
he
that
can
Odell's
still
dad?
that team will still get above
What
that.
is that Odell's dad? He's how bad? Oh my! I should put him in Ratbirds? I can't do that, Mr. Odell. That's not your last name, but that's what I'm gonna call you. Okay, I'll tell him. I'll let him know. I'll let Jonah know. Jonah, he told me. He said he's real bad. He's the worst
All
quarterback.
right.
He said verbatim. He's no
Wait,
Matt
I'm-
Stafford.
I'm a little confused. So wait, do you think that the receiving core that the Browns had is worse than the Panthers receiving core?
Yes.
Interesting.
Based on the level of play Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham had. On paper it was better, but in actuality it wasn't.
I mean,
Does
I guess.
does Odell's
They have the exact same fourth receiver. So
Well, that's what I'm saying is he's fourth in the depth chart, whereas he was effectively 1 over there.
no, he was 4. He was behind.
No.
Odell,
He was 3. He was 3, and he was playing like the 1. Based on
Donovan
like
Peoples
target share
Jones
and
was
shit.
doing more than them.
No, not consistently.
No,
He might have
not
been.
consistently, but
He
that's
is better.
because-
Donovan Peoples-Jones is a better receiver, but he was not getting the target share to make him number 1.
Yeah, well, because he played outside, didn't play slot.
Oof. Well, okay. I think we've talked about the Panthers enough. Mr. Odell is getting pissed. We need to move on. He's getting real angry. So we have him in outside looking in as of right now. Jonah's gonna have him in playoff hopeful probably. Jake is
wait.
gonna have him in Ratbird.
Question, out of curiosity, so with the teams we've done 6 now. Jonah has 3 of them in Ratbirds. I have 1. How many did you have, Drew? 2?
I had 1.
1?
Yeah.
So what, Jags or Texans?
No, Texans.
Alright.
No, I've had 2.
Ah.
The Falcons too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had 2.
You've had 2. You've had 2. Jonah's had 3. I've had 1. And I haven't crossed paths for those with either of y'all.
Because I think your whole AFC South takes were out of left field.
They were hot.
They were hot. They were
It's a hot division. It's the hottest division.
Except, hey, whatever you
No
think,
one knows
Jake.
on him.
All right,
Yeah.
let's move. This one probably will be a little bit. There's a lot of angry people when it comes to the Saints.
Yeah, I've been keeping this one close to my chest when we've talked about it in other scenarios. I think people think this is going to go way differently than it is.
Okay,
Oh.
well, let's jump into their additions real quick. Bring back old 30 for 30 himself, Jameis Winston.
Whoop, whoop. Goated
Bring in Andy Dalton, good vet.
the red rifle.
Good Jarvis Landry, another solid good vet for receiver. Traquan Smith. Jonah's favorite DN, Taco Charlton. Maybe that's why Jonah hates him. Oh my god, I think I might have figured it out.
He misses him.
Watch now, Jake's he's gonna be over.
It is not Taco Charlton's fault that he was picked over TJ Watt.
Okay.
I mean, that's
And then
true, I guess.
they get the Honey Badger, which is really, I think that's definitely probably the biggest pickup here. But those are solid pickups. I mean,
Marcus May is a huge pickup as
I'm
well.
saying I don't think the Honey Badger's even the better safety they got.
Yeah, Marcus May I think is the bigger
Really?
one.
Yeah.
Honey Badger has the better namesake. Marcus May was balling out on the Jets.
But is that just because the Jets are bad?
Well, I mean, defense, you get less of that than offense. You can have a guy balling out on offense because the team's bad, and then but like defense, it's like either you're good or you're not. Like you can't be on a bad team and then look good on defense because you're the only guy doing something. Like that's not how. No, your defense just sucks in that scenario.
Okay. So defensively, we like what they've done. They
Yeah, I do a lot.
they lost some guys. Big his name, Jeff Heath. Another guy Jonah just loves, favorite player.
Like I think that
Jeff
I think
Heath
they
is
are
the GOAT.
better. I think they are better in the secondary than they were.
You have now informed me that Jeff Heath is a free agent, and I'm annoyed the Cowboys haven't signed him.
Yeah, just give him like a 1-day retire as a Cowboy.
I will miss him.
Keep him on the roster.
Wait, just
I will miss little Jordan.
I miss
Humphrey,
him.
though. I just love the name, little Jordan Humphrey.
I think the biggest loss here is Teron Armstead.
It's beyond a doubt. That's what it is. That's a huge loss.
Yeah. Quan played well for them too, didn't he? Though.
Alexander, yeah, I think he did as well.
Yeah.
But I think.
But I mean, that was more of a cap casualty. They just had to let him go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
since they were
maybe,
just
maybe they think they stole a guy
$40,000 trillion over the cap.
Yeah.
But the cap doesn't matter, so they're fine. Look at them.
Yeah, it's all fake.
It's all fake. It's all numbers. But yeah, Armstead's a big loss. I mean, he's a great left tackle, and he walks away. I don't remember much of the Saints draft actually, so I'm actually curious to look at this. Oh yeah, that's right. They got the Ohio State guy, which I think probably leans into the question of what's Michael Thomas doing this season?
Fine.
Is he playing? Will he?
Yeah, I think so. Why would he?
How long does he play before he's like, I definitely went out of here?
I don't think long. I
How-
think he I mean, I don't think he wants out. I think he enjoys it.
You think he enjoys it after last season?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's not what I picked up from the
I think
Twitter
everything's
world.
gonna be fine.
Just ignore it and the problem will go away.
Yeah, I think great.
Wait, does Michael Thomas have like a Kawhi problem with the Saints?
I mean, I think he has a quad problem with Chauncey Gardner Jr. in this, or Chauncey Gardner.
Johnson.
Yeah,
I thought it was relatively known around the league that there was a lot of, for whatever reason, a lot of like miscommunication between him and the Saints in terms of all the health stuff. And to me, reading it, it felt like it rubbed Michael Thomas the wrong way. Whether that's justified or not, I just felt like he felt that he had been done dirty for some reason or another.
I don't know. They don't have the same quarterback or the same coach from the last time he actually played for them.
Okay. Well,
So I don't think that he's gonna want to leave it. I think he'll be fine.
I also just think like, hey, you don't have to do it all by yourself anymore. You have a guy who's a good leader in that room now who will probably help him mature a little. And I think it straight there.
Chris Olave's pretty good. Did you have an opinion on him? You didn't have one on.
Yeah, he's fast.
London.
He's fast. He plays well. I just Ohio State receivers tend to do very well in the league, but it's also hard at times to.
Isn't that where Michael Thomas went?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah. I mean, he's played well. Terry's played well. Olave, I assume will blow. I mean, they have a lot of really good receivers in the league.
Okay.
I mean, were you saying that as like a get at Michael?
No,
Thomas?
I wasn't sure.
Oh,
I was just trying to make sure because it definitely reinforces your point.
yeah. So like that's what I think. I'd be tripping. I want to say either Callaway or Smith, Traquan. I think one of them might have played there as well. Might have. I might be tripping though.
I know Paris Campbell played there too.
Yeah, Paris Campbell did. So their receivers tend to be pretty solid. The only thing that's hard to me on that is I think so often they are just better athletes than most of the DBs in the Big Ten. Like the Big Ten, for the most part, the better athletes on the offensive side of the ball. You'll see D-line and stuff be really good in the Big Ten, but the secondary at times is good, but most of the time Ohio State's receivers are just better than everyone. So it's hard to see them go against like a really good DB usually. So like I don't feel super strongly about it. I think Olave, however you say it, will
I think
be
it's
a
Olave.
perfectly good receiver, and I don't know what it'll turn into. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if this dude's one of the top receivers in the league in 3, 4 years.
I mean, yeah, I mean he's gonna definitely be. He's gonna
He's
be
a
in a
great.
good rookie spot too, where it's like Michael Thomas is coming back. Michael Thomas always is gonna gain attention, and Jarvis Landry's gonna, you know, really open up, like really take up the middle of the field, which should open up more spots. So you should have a lot of. I feel like he should have a lot of one-on-ones this year, and Jameis Winston loves fucking throwing that ball, whether it's accurate or not. He loves yeeting it.
Got to have the least pressure possible, in my opinion, because to me, if you're the Saints and you're looking at, I think they got 5 receivers you can trust.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Thomas, Landry, Olave, Marquez Callaway, Traquan Smith. Like, I'll trust any of those 5.
Yeah, Jameis has his pick of the litter,
Yeah.
but we'll see what they do. We'll jump over here into what's kind of half tier him. I want Jonah's opinion on this because I know Jonah's pretty low on the Saints and he's spoken up now and then, but he's kept his opinion close to the vest. Well, what are the Saints doing this year?
I agree with everything you guys have said,
Okay, we're
but
good. Playoff team,
Yes, the
right?
but.
but I think Jameis Winston brings this team down.
Ooh. But
They are outside looking in, below the Panthers.
below. They're gonna be worse than the Panthers this year. Ah, wow. Why?
They're not bad enough to be a bottom 10,
It's
but
just
Jameis
Jameis.
Winston is not good enough to get them to the playoffs. In fact, he's going to keep them from being a playoff team. They also don't have Alvin Kamara for the first 6 games.
That's big. That is a big portion. That's why, for me,
Season's
I'm
going to
throwing.
start rocky.
That's why, exactly. That's why I'm throwing him in playoff hopeful. But I think this team is gonna be way better at the end of the year than the beginning, and I think that's always best for the for
I
NFL.
genuinely don't think it matters.
Interesting. Well, Jake, what's your thought on the Saints?
Um. So, man. All right. I haven't fully looked in to know number wise if this is going to match up, but I am buying what the Saints are selling. I would put them in playoff team.
You put him in playoff team.
Yeah, at the moment, I think playoff team. That's what the
Looks like I get my way
I might.
again.
Yeah. What I don't know is I haven't actually thought about it too in depth. Where I've been like, okay, 7 teams can go. Well, I really feel this. I might have 7 teams I like more than the Saints.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know. I might have 7 I like more, but I think this team is talented enough to be a playoff team. So that's why I'm.
I 100% agree, but I think the loss of Kamara for 6 games is gonna hurt.
I think it hurts.
It's
Yeah.
gonna really hurt them in the beginning. I think they're gonna have to really rally. I mean, I'm not sure what those 6 games are. We'll save that. At least gonna save that for when we predict records for certain teams. But I just think that's gonna hurt them. How they're gonna do it. They're gonna have to lean on Winston even more, which I don't love.
That's
So
the easiest stretch of their schedule.
let's say they come out. Let's say they come out and they come out of that 3-3. Like, are you buying them at that point?
Yeah, I think they would be a playoff team. I think.
No.
No. Well,
But keep going.
I think they would. I think they're going to probably struggle against the Bucks. I think most teams are, but I think the Falcons should be 2 wins for them, and the Panthers should be 2 wins, probably one close game out of the bunch. And division wise, they did well, and I don't think they finished first. Yeah, they definitely didn't finish first last year, so their schedule shouldn't be too crazy. So I think they should be able to pick up enough wins to. I still think maybe 3-3 would still probably lean to them like in that fighting for that wild card spot during the last couple weeks, but I think they'll sneak in and they'll make it. And then once they get to the playoffs, I mean, who knows? They could get hot. I mean, they have the type of schedule, funny enough, with the suspension and shit, that they could they could be a team that's getting hot right when it matters. So I don't know.
I mean, I'm a big Jameis guy. I buy into Jameis. I think too much hate for Jameis. The man
Yeah.
just wants to go out there and eat his W's.
He just wants to eat his W's. Any last points on the Saints before we move to the Bucks? We've said our piece. Jonas put his hate into the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess his hate wasn't as bad as my hate, to be honest. But
Yeah. Well,
what
moving
an
on.
addition by the Bucks, by the way. Tom Brady. I mean, whew.
Oh man, yeah. Tom Brady pulls a gotcha. It was leaked by. It was leaked with one of my favorite sports, soccer. He went to a Manchester United game, and Ronaldo went, "Are you done?" And he said, "One more year."
He said, nah.
He said, "One more year." But Tom Brady comes back, wants one more run at it. One more run at it. They get Blaine Gabbert, okay. But they re-signed both their running backs. Pretty good. Bernard, great out of the backfield. Fournette really played well for him last year. They get Shaq Mason from the Patriots. That's good. That's a good, very good guard. They get Russell Gage from the division.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was stolen on earlier, not talking about the Falcons, because we would come here. I think that's a good addition. I like Russell Gage. I'm a big Russell Gage guy. I
Yeah.
think he's I think he's been good. I think that's going to be one of the things that probably losing him, I think, is a pretty decent loss for the Falcons.
Well, and if he would have left, I think Chris Godwin would have been a pretty big loss for the Bucks. But they keep him around, pay him, and besides that, I
Yeah,
mean, do you guys see anything else that's
not
crazy?
not as
Hakeem
big of a
Hicks.
deal as Russell Gage, probably, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess not. But Hakeem Hicks, I mean, he's a good vet that's probably going to play well.
I mean, getting Carlton Davis back is big for them, obviously. I think signing Keanu Neal could be big. I'm intrigued. I'm assuming, I mean, that says safety. I'm assuming
I don't think
Keanu
Keanu
Neal's.
Neal matters. I don't think he's gonna see much playing time.
I don't know, but it depends on what he. Because with you guys, he was playing like a linebacker, right?
He was a linebacker,
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I
but
don't
he
know
didn't
what.
like linebacker,
Yeah, so that looks
despite
like
wanting to
that's
change to
saying
linebacker.
that's saying safety. So I guess maybe he's going back to safety. I'll tell you that if Keanu Neal's just two safety, I feel like you're in a pretty good position on your defense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you can rotate guys, you can keep guys fresh. I mean, we should be.
He's a good pickup. In terms of stuff they've lost, uh, lost Ronald Jones, which it's probably
meh.
the most that does is just make Fournette better fantasy running back.
I think it
Gronk,
gets Keyshawn Vaughn a chance to get some targets.
yeah.
Keyshawn Vaughn can't catch.
Ooh, hate to see it.
Hmm.
Hate to see it.
Is
Gronk
that not what
finally.
he was drafted to do, though?
Yeah, that's the issue.
Oh,
Ooh. Well, Gronk retires supposedly. If like we get to like week 12 and Gronk's like I'm back, would not shock me.
Week 12. I mean, I think it's like week 6.
Wouldn't shock me. If he comes back
no,
at
I don't think Gronk wants to play a regular season anymore.
who do they
I
have?
think
don't
he's
think
just there for the
I
playoff
don't
run.
think he does. I don't think he does either. But I think Brady gets to week 6 and he's like, I'm getting tired of playing with this offense. I don't have anyone I love. And he's like, Gronk, I need you. And then Gronk's like, well, fine for you, Tom.
Yeah. I mean, and then lose AJ Howard, which is not great. Who do they have at tight end?
Cameron Brate.
Okay, who do they have at tight end?
No, Cameron
No.
Brate is good.
He's
You
100
cannot
years
hate-
old.
You
No,
cannot
he's
hate on-
not.
He's
Yes,
like
he
12.
is.
Cameron
Look
Brady's
how old he is.
closer. Cameron Brady's closer to 12-year-old. 12 years old than he is 100.
Someone look it up. I want to know how
31.
old he is.
I'll bet you any amount of money when I
He is
try to
31.
That guy plays like he's 50. That's wild.
I mean, he is just an old-fashioned tight end.
I mean, OJ Howard's 27.
Yeah, he's in his prime of his career.
Gronk's
God, Cameron Brady's been on the Bucks
30.
for so long. He's been average on the Bucks for so long.
No. He's had good years.
Okay, whatever you say. Whatever you say. And then basically the rest of their departures really are just old people that just left.
Cameron Brate is like a slightly improved Keith Miller.
Let's relax.
That's just.
Let's relax
I-
here. Let's
I just wanted
relax.
to take that-
We don't
I
have to
just
get
wanted
into
to
some
take
slander like
shot.
that.
We don't need to just lie like that. We don't need to just lie. Anybody love any of these names that they drafted? I'm not really seeing any pop off.
For the draft, the Logan Hall I think is a pretty solid pick, especially just because they were able to get him in the league. He did really well on the D line for them. We're talking punters, baby. Jake Kamada. Kamada. I don't know. I met the dude.
Can he rip it?
So Georgia uses super like their balls easy to hit from. So I'm intrigued to see if he will transition to the NFL fine or not.
Little punter talk.
Yeah, so like the Evan used like normal balls. That's why he was able to go to the league and he was able to go and everything was fine. Also, he does everything. But I feel like there's a chance that this dude does not last long. Now, you never know. Like these guys all are professionals, and especially punters and kickers, it's so much more mental than anything. And most of the time, it's going to be, are you willing to adjust and work and get after it and make sure you're taking mental reps all the time? So he very well might end up being the best punter ever for all I know. I'm just saying that is something, knowing how their game balls are, especially on special teams and stuff, knowing how they do this stuff, I could see him being one of those quick exits from the league, even though he was a pretty highly coveted punter.
Okay.
He's a real Robert Aguayo.
Yeah, he could be a Robert Aguayo as a punter. That Aguayo's a kicker, obviously.
Same thing. They're not football players.
I think
They're not athletes.
I don't know much about this Luke Godecki. I'm guessing it's pronounced, but they definitely need to fill losing Ali Marpet. I mean, he's a pretty good.
But that's why they got Shaq Mason.
Yeah, I guess that is true, but I guess the draft pick is still good because you need depth on the O-line. People go down left and right throughout the year, so.
I don't think there's ever been an O-line injury.
Never.
Nope, never.
But in general, my takes on the Bucks off season is just they're basically right where they were before, and
they're running it back.
They're legitimately running.
They're not quite running it back, but it feels like they are, despite the fact that they swapped out a bunch of key pieces for almost identical players in free agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
like
why.
looking at the players they lost, I couldn't have told you that they lost that many guys. Like there are some important names on that list.
There's important names, but I also feel like there's just some names, if that makes sense.
Well, no, but I know, but I'm saying like they lost half their defensive line, and it doesn't feel like it matters.
Well, because they signed back other guys that.
Well, they replaced him. They replaced
They got
JPP with Akeem Hicks, and that's what I mean. Like that's just what it feels like they did on the entire roster.
Yeah. They got their long snapper back. Big.
That's huge. That is huge. But with what we're saying that they just kind of are running it back, I think last year they were contenders, and I think this year we have our first contender, for me.
Nah, Brady's over the hill, rat.
So I'm going to sadly agree with Jonah here. I think the Bucks kind of fall apart, and I think they're rapid.
All right, they are a contender.
Yeah, they're contenders.
This might be the first one we've agreed on.
Yeah,
I think that's true.
Oh,
I don't think it's true. I know it's true. This is definitely the only one where all three of us have said the same thing.
Quick side note, Drew.
Probably all be wrong.
Their starting left guard is Aaron Stinney. Do you know who that is?
No, should I?
I don't know who he is either, but he's from James Madison.
Oh my God, we should know. We're trash.
We're bad alumni.
He's a beast. He's the best guard in the league. We need a new tier.
He's better than Quentin Nelson.
Super Bowl winners is the next tier I'm making. I'm adding it to them. Oh my gosh. But I think with contenders, again, maybe one way or another, we're not going to have much of an argument. The Bucks win the division. Any no's? Any nays? Is it close? Is it?
They could not win the division. I think they do. I think if the Saints just absolutely everything clicked perfectly.
Is there a world where they win they can't be contenders still and not win the division though?
Sure,
they could. I think they could.
You think?
If both teams just popped off in regular season.
They both had really good records,
and I think the Bucks are like the only team that I could see slide to the wild card and still feel like they're a contender.
Okay.
It's just a team that feels like it's ready for the playoffs and it could overlook the regular season.
Yeah, definitely not. I would definitely not say they're the only team because there's a few teams I think will be wild card teams that are contenders. But
Ooh.
The Steelers.
Okay, there might be a division where I see that.
yeah, that's what I'm
But-
saying. There's certain divisions where there's at least 2 teams that are contenders.
Okay. We'll talk about those teams when we get to them.
Yeah, that's spoilers. We can't do that. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Well-
why I didn't name the division. I mean, we all know I'm talking about the NFC East, but I didn't say it.
Let's go, Commanders! Let's go. Okay.
Don't get New York's hopes up.
Okay. I won't. We'll get to them again when we get to them. But
Danny Dimes doesn't need an inflated ego.
that's true.
It's true. I
He's
mean,
gotta
he's
beat
already he's
gotta-
already way behind Zach Wilson at
That's
this
what I'm saying.
point.
He's got to
so-
beat the other New York quarterback.
The other New York QB is the one right now. He's got the dog in him.
I know he needs Danny Dimes needs to start slinging it.
Right now, they're looking at Danny Dimes.
Maybe though, you could argue.
This is
Remember
the
that
cat.
play when Danny Dimes fell at one time? Maybe he had weak legs. Maybe he was slinging it too much the night before. Like boxers can't have fun the night before; they get weak legs. Maybe Danny Dimes had weak legs. That's why he fell forward.
Me just weak-willed.
well, I think we're getting into other stuff. That was the hint. That was the
All right, all I said was
NFC
don't give him
South.
an inflated ego. I didn't say tear his ego down.
that was
Yeah.
the NFC South. Copium takes division. What do you call it? What are we calling this? Division review, division preview.
Preview.
We're gonna call it
Little bit
division
of it
preview.
all.
We're coming up with them on the spot. Next pod, we're talking about the best division in football. Might not be
Ooh.
record-wise, might not be team-wise, but hey,
Might not be talent-wise, might not be entertainment-wise. It literally might not be in any sense of the way.
but what does
But
but
the
the,
one thing it does have is it has Drew's team. So
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
all.
the division with the
hard-hitting-
most unearned awards.
it has
Yeah.
hard-hitting football. The
And a running back
AFC
playing quarterback.
AFC North football. Joe Burrow, running back playing quarterback. See you then. Thanks for listening. Share it, like it, subscribe, all the fun
Buy it.
stuff. Even if you don't like it, do it for us. Do it for the kids. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.